other than your own work, of course, what is working for you and is good in the modern, television book world
Well,
or
in
movies, of
TV,
course.
yeah, in TV terms, man, Taylor Sheridan on Paramount Plus is really killing it. He's the guy who made like Yellowstone,
Oh, okay.
1923, Tulsa King. He's doing
Mhm.
all these shows, and they're great because they don't go for any of the modern day politics or anything. They are just good, kind of old fashioned storytelling.
Mhm.
So they are good stuff, and I've been very much enjoying them. House of the Dragon, with it's set in the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah, love it.
That really surprised all of us because we thought, oh, God, Game of Thrones was a nightmare when it ended. This just feels like another project to keep George distracted so he doesn't have to write his book. And yeah, it came out and it's like, wow, this is smart and it's got great characters. It's mature. It's well done and patient. Brilliant. Love it. And looking
Yeah.
forward to season 2. So that's good. And Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite show of the past few years. I just love it. It's so gloriously stupid and silly, and yet there's such heart to it, and it's fantastic just seeing all these old characters come back, and yeah, great fun. I actually got to meet William Zabka, who plays Johnny, like the main character.
Oh, cool.
He was at a convention I was at, so that was one of the great moments of that weekend, is meeting him.
It's a legend. Did you bow to your sensei when you met him?
I did. Yeah, it's like I shook his hand and I was like, man, it's just it's a real honor to meet you, and thank you, sir, for the work you've done on this show. It's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. He was good.
That's awesome. The when you were talking about House of the Dragon, it occurred to me we'd mentioned earlier that there's not a lot of aspirational older characters, and of course he's totally gray, but Viserys in that, especially a little bit of spoilers. The March to the Throne
Oh yeah.
demonstrate. Oh my God, right in the feels. A different kind of strength that was like an old person strength, like a strength
Yes.
of character in that moment. I thought was beautifully done. His final speech, too little, too late to his family, but still, like that was a failed patriarch in many ways, but it demonstrated aspirational qualities, which I thought was like, oh God, that's like, you get to the tail end of your life. This is where you want to, this is how you like to have been for longer.
I could honestly make a whole video just about that character. What an interesting character study, and what a great arc he goes on. Because, his whole thing throughout his early life particularly is that he didn't really want any of this. Like, he probably would have been happy just like being a lord, a country lord of some like little estate somewhere, and just making his models and just being with his family. He just wanted his family around him more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got this tremendous responsibility put on him. Struggles with it. Not a strong man necessarily at first. He's quite easily swayed by others. And he's obviously wrestling with this degenerative illness that's gradually making him weaker and frailer. But it's almost like the more physically weak he becomes, the more his strength of character comes to the fore, and he becomes this tremendous leader who basically gives up everything for his family. And yeah, like you say, every time you see a character struggling to do something, like some task like that is so important to them, but they refuse help and stuff, it always tugs at the heartstrings. It's human nature. And so the show, played that scene perfectly, and it's all helped by a great performance by Paddy Considine, the actor that played him. So
Yeah.
Viserys was a great character.
I would 100% watch that movie, that video as soon as it dropped. I would love that. Just to relive that arc, which I found, just like you said, so touching. So if you do make it, you've got my vote.
I will let you know. Yeah.